So last class we looked at area, perimeter of circles and squares and triangles and rectangles. Today we're going to look at shapes that are a little bit different. Shapes that do not show up on your formula sheet. So like this first one right here, we have a six-sided figure, so we have a hexagon. So what we're going to do, we'll divide that into shapes that we do know how to calculate area and perimeter for. So I'm going to make it into two triangles and a rectangle. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to make two small rectangles and one big rectangle. Here's a hint for you. You want to find a way to make as few shapes as possible. So here, I'll make a rectangle and a triangle. Triangle and rectangle. Two rectangles. And we will make this a triangle and rectangle. Alright, so down below, I'll help you with this example. So we have a shape that we can break apart into a triangle and a large rectangle. So let's find the perimeter and the area of this shape. So perimeter, remember we have to add up all the sides, so we have, I'll make a note, P add up sides. So we'll do 10 plus 7 plus 8 plus 4 plus 12. Now when I do it, I like to go back and count my numbers to be sure I used every one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we'll add that up. That gives me 10 plus 7, 17. 17 plus 8 would be 25. 25 plus 4 is 29. 29 plus 12 would be 41. So do not forget the units. The unit here would be feet. So we have 41 feet. Okay? Now let's do the area. So the area for the formula of a triangle, we'll start with that. I like to label everything. So area of triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, so we come over here to the triangle. So we have to do some calculations here. Alright, so we know that if this piece here is 8 and we're looking for a total of 12, we are missing 4 feet right here, because 8 plus 4 would give you this 12. So I'll put 4 feet. Okay, so the base is 4, but what's the height? So again, we have to do some math here. So we have 4 feet right here. So the rectangle here has a width of 4. We have a total here of 10. That means the height of this would be 10, and subtract the 4, so we have 6. 6 feet. Alright, so we have 1/2. The base would be 4, and the height is 6. So all we do is plug that in. So 1/2 times 4 times 6. Alright, so half of 4 would be 2. 2 times 6 is 12 feet squared. Don't forget the unit squared, area, squarea. So 12 feet squared. Okay, now let's do the rectangle. So area of a rectangle is length times your width. Okay, so now let's look at the rectangle. So the length is 12, and the width, so the length here is 12, the width would just be 4. So 12 times 4, which is 48 feet squared. But now we need the total area. So guess what we do? We're going to add 48 plus 12. So 48 plus 12 would be 60 feet squared. Okay, so on the next page, I'm going to help you get some of the measurements that you're going to need, but I'm going to have you try the calculations. Okay, so we have a 5-sided polygon, so we have a pentagon here, and then break it up into a triangle and a rectangle. Alright, so based on what we know about rectangles, we know that opposite sides are congruent. So I have 5 here, that means this would be 5. Okay, so if you look up here, from the end of this pentagon to the other side, we have a total of 9 centimeters. But here on the rectangle, I have a length of 7. That means I'm missing 2 centimeters. So you'll have to find the perimeter of this entire shape. So you'll have to add up all these sides, so 5 plus 7 plus 3. And if this piece right here is 3, we'll assume this is an isosceles triangle and make this 3 also, plus 7. So 5 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3 plus 7. And make sure that you have all 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so for the area of triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, the base would be 5, and the height of this triangle, which is from the base to the very end here, would be 2. So 1/2, 5 times 2. I'm using parentheses for multiplication this time. Area of the rectangle, put that in red, length times width. So the length of this rectangle is 7 and the width is 5. Does it really matter though if we switched and put 5 times 7? It wouldn't, because multiplication is commutative. So 7 times 5. Once you get those answers, you're going to add those two areas up for the total area. Alright, this number 3. I'm going to break it up here. However, you could also break it up here if you wanted to. Okay, so I have a total of 12 here. I have 4 here. That means that I am missing 8 on this piece here, because 4 plus 8 would give me 12. Okay, so I have 7 here, and a total of 14. That means that I'm missing 7. So 7 here plus 7 gives me the total of 14. I'll let you try it. We'll add up the sides. So 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 4 plus 14 plus 12. So we have a shape that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So add those up and get the perimeter, and then do the area. So we have the area of this top rectangle. This is not a square here because we have different measurements. One piece is 7, the other is 8. So it's length times width. And then we have 4 times 14, because this total length here is 14, the width is 4. Alright, so that means you're going to be left to calculate the perimeter and the total areas. Okay, last example I'm going to help you with. So we'll look at number 2. What is the area of the shaded region? So let's start by finding the area of the shaded region. So we have length times width. So the length would be 20 and the width is 15. So we have 20 times 15. So that's 300. So that's the shaded. The non-shaded, I'll just call this the non. Again, notice how I label everything. So I have a square for the non-shaded figure, 7 by 7 sides. So that's area is equal to side squared. So 7 times 7, which is 49 feet squared. Now, to find just the area of this shaded figure, so just this here, I'm going to subtract the area of the non-shaded. So we'll do 300 minus 49. That gives you 251 feet squared.